Welcome to this episode of The LinkedIn Marketer. My name is Karen Hollenbach, and today I'm going to share some ideas with you about how to explore LinkedIn thought leadership. Now, whether you're responsible for managing your organization's LinkedIn presence or you lead an organization, this episode will provide some insights and hopefully also some inspiration to assist your LinkedIn journey. If you're thinking about how to explore LinkedIn thought leadership, I want you to view LinkedIn thought leadership as something that's relevant for any type of organization and its leaders. Now, this is whether your focus is profit, you're a charitable organization, a not for profit, a social enterprise, or perhaps you wish to expand your professional influence. Thought leadership is something you can develop from your organization's company page because it's about educating, informing, and starting constructive conversations with your professional community on LinkedIn. And here's what's important: LinkedIn is more like a professional networking platform and less like social media. So, if you or the leaders of your organization are not really social media people, then that last sentence explaining to you that LinkedIn is more like a professional networking platform is probably music to your ears, good news. So, being active on LinkedIn as a thought leader, either from an organization or an individual, so a company page or a LinkedIn profile, means being part of a community where you can lead and contribute to conversations in your areas of expertise. And so when I position thought leadership like that with some of my clients who have maybe been told by their CEO that they need to be more active on LinkedIn, or they're trying to develop their LinkedIn company page strategy, this idea of being thinking about their community and engaging in relevant conversations for their community from a thought leadership perspective is a concept that's well received. So, yes, thought leadership is about the content you create, but it can also be about the comments you or your page leaves on other profiles and page updates. And it can also be about content that's reposted from your profile or page with a thought provoking commentary that provides context for the reader. So, I'm going to dive into the application of thought leadership across three or four different areas. We're going to look at thought leadership for business, examples of thought leadership, how you might approach it if you're a charitable organization or a not for profit, examples of thought leadership for social enterprises. And then I'll give you some tips on thought leadership from an individual perspective, if that's coming from your profile versus the other examples that are more likely to be coming from your organization's company page. If you're the person responsible for your organization's LinkedIn presence and you're a for profit commercial business, thought leadership in the business context involves positioning your organization as a leading authority in your industry or market. Now, this includes sharing innovative ideas, providing some insights or insightful analysis on industry trends, and demonstrating expertise in solving common business problems, or at least solving the problems that are relevant for the ideal clients who you're trying to influence or get into conversations with on LinkedIn. So, there are a number of ways to demonstrate thought leadership on LinkedIn as a business, and this includes publishing articles, sharing insights, and engaging in discussions. So, writing in depth articles on emerging trends, disruptive technologies, or successful case studies in your industry is a really good starting point. You can also extend this to a regular LinkedIn newsletter that your company page publishes, let's say on a monthly basis. In terms of sharing insights, you could post regular updates that analyze recent market developments, maybe some global best practice or research, and then a commentary on the potential impact on your organization's industry. In terms of engaging in discussions, that's where you might like to also get some of the leaders of your organization involved in your thought leadership strategy. So encourage your organisation's leaders to participate in or even initiate discussions on relevant business topics. So they could repost something from the company page and they can offer a unique perspective and solutions. And remember, it's not about being salesy or transactional when I make these suggestions, it's about starting a discussion. And also remember the importance of industry specific issues as well as more general issues relating to your organisation's credentials as a great place to work. If you are responsible for the LinkedIn presence of, let's say, a charitable organisation or a not for profit, thought leadership in this sector involves advocating for your organisation's cause, raising awareness about key issues, and influencing public opinion and policy. Now, this could include sharing success stories, educating the public about the cause you advocate for, and collaborating with other organisations in your network. Now, there are some different recommendations I would make here in regard to how you can demonstrate thought leadership on LinkedIn as a charitable organisation. And these include storytelling, raising awareness, and networking, which will involve leaders of your organisation. So let's look at storytelling. You can share impactful stories of individuals or communities that have benefited from your organisation's services. In terms of raising awareness, you could post educational content about your organisation's cause, including infographics, statistics, and maybe even some personal narratives, if that's relevant. And do remember to review the United Nations list of international days and weeks and be active on LinkedIn at key times when a spotlight is on the issues that your organisation advocates for. In terms of networking, collaborating with other thought leaders and organisations to promote the cause and expand your organisation's reach is a great way to leverage this professional networking dynamic that exists within the LinkedIn platform. You could follow relevant people from your leaders' profiles and follow relevant organisations from your organisation's LinkedIn page. You can react to, like, comment, and repost updates from these profiles and pages to show you are aligned to these causes. Now, this is a really important point because if you don't have capacity to be creating content, that last suggestion, the reposting, is an easy way to be active on LinkedIn and saves you time because you might not have capacity or resource to be creating content on LinkedIn. And do please note, I notice that many charitable organisations are active on social media platforms like Facebook. Thinking about LinkedIn, it can also be a platform to engage your professional community. But before investing time on LinkedIn, do your research and check that the people who your organization wishes to influence or get into conversations with do spend time on LinkedIn. Now let's look at some examples of thought leadership for social enterprises. And there is no reason why a social enterprise, if you represent a social enterprise and you're responsible for their LinkedIn presence, there's no reason why you can't take some of the ideas in the LinkedIn content marketing playbook that I've suggested for businesses and for not for profits. But let's be specific about social enterprises because I think thought leadership in a social enterprise context involves combining business acumen with social mission advocacy. So, this includes demonstrating how business solutions can address social challenges. It's almost like the new frontier. You can showcase the social impact and promote sustainable practices as examples. So there are a number of ways to demonstrate thought leadership on LinkedIn as a social enterprise, and they include impact reporting, some thought pieces, and innovative solutions. So what do I mean by impact reporting? You can share reports and updates on the social and environmental impact of your organization's activities. In terms of thought pieces, you can write articles. You may also publish a regular LinkedIn newsletter from your page that highlights the intersection of business and social good, including case studies and best practices. Do also consider the role of that regular LinkedIn newsletter that I've mentioned a few times because it will allow you to build subscribers and spread the word about the work you're doing in your sector. And when I mentioned innovative solutions, what I mean by that is posting about innovative solutions that your enterprise is implementing to tackle social issues and to also share the outcomes of these initiatives. So, in the same way, you might inject some of that storytelling that we talked about for not for profits or charitable organizations. What if you're a fairly lean organization and one of the leaders of your business, your charity, or your social enterprise has got a lot of LinkedIn followers? It would make a lot more sense to be driving thought leadership from an individual perspective, from that person's profile. So, as a LinkedIn member, you are part of a professional community and will be most effective when you contribute to conversations as well as share your own perspective. So, when I talk about thought leadership on LinkedIn more from an individual perspective, I'm referring to the importance of having a point of view on predetermined topics, also known as a strategy, and sharing useful information with your LinkedIn community. You don't have to be an academic or writer to be a thought leader on LinkedIn. Thought leadership for a professional involves establishing yourself as an expert in your field. This includes sharing knowledge, offering practical advice, and contributing to the advancement of your profession, your sector, your industry, your cause through thought provoking content. So, some examples or ways to demonstrate thought leadership on LinkedIn via your LinkedIn profile include providing expert advice, sharing or commentating on industry trends, and then also a focus on professional development. So, in terms of expert advice, you can write posts, you can dive into those ideas that I've shared previously with LinkedIn articles from your profile, even a regular newsletter that provide practical tips, advice, and solutions relevant to your focus for LinkedIn. In terms of industry trends, you could share insights and analysis on current trends and future directions that are relevant for your focus for LinkedIn. And for professional development, you could post about continuous learning experiences, demonstrating that you are staying at the forefront of the latest global trends in the areas that you are a thought leader in, or in the areas that are relevant or support or enhance your thought leadership. So that could be certifications. It could also be sharing resources that can help others in their own professional growth. So there's a lot in today's episode. If you're thinking about thought leadership, and depending on where you are in your thought leadership journey and whether you're responsible for your organization's LinkedIn presence or you're keen to develop your own thought leadership, there are a number of LinkedIn content marketing features mentioned in this episode that can help you leverage thought leadership. So in the show notes, I have a link to Think Bespoke's knowledge base where you can find out more information about posting regularly on LinkedIn, writing a LinkedIn article, publishing a regular LinkedIn newsletter, and lots more. If you enjoyed this episode, please leave a review and share this podcast with your friends and colleagues. If you'd like to learn more about how to leverage LinkedIn, I'd love to be your guide. Sign up to my e-insights, my monthly newsletter that's packed with LinkedIn tips, thought starters, and exclusive subscriber offers. If you're just starting out on your LinkedIn journey, I'm so glad you've found me, and I recommend you check out my LinkedIn Profile Essentials online course. If you want to be the go-to for your organization's LinkedIn presence, I recommend you check out my LinkedIn Marketing Mentoring Program.